Before the world knew her name, before the headlines, the vigils, and the nationwide manhunt, there were clues hidden in plain sight, and the ones we all missed. In the summer of 2021, Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie set out on what was supposed to be the adventure of a lifetime. Documenting their cross-country van trip on social media, they painted a picture of a perfect life on the road. But as we now know, the camera captured more than just memories. For weeks, their journey captivated millions, but it was the release of police body cam footage that truly exposed the cracks in their idyllic story. This footage, along with new analysis from recent documentaries, has brought fresh eyes to the case, forcing us to ask what was really happening behind the smiles. Let's break down the timeline, because every timestamp matters. On August 12th, police in Moab, Utah, responded to a call about a domestic dispute. The body cam video shows a distraught Gabby and a seemingly calm Brian. Officers ultimately separated them for the night, classifying it as a mental health crisis, not a domestic violence incident. This was one of the last times Gabby was seen publicly. Just a couple of weeks later, on August 25th, Gabby's last known communication was a text to her mother. After that, her social media went silent. On September 1st, Brian returned to his family's home in Florida, alone in Gabby's van. 10 days later, Gabby's family reported her missing. The search began, leading investigators to a remote campsite in Wyoming's Bridger-Teton National Forest. On September 19th, human remains were found. They were soon identified as Gabby Petito. When you line up the events, the picture becomes chillingly clear. But it's the clues hidden within those events that are truly haunting. Let's start with the body language in that Moab police stop. Experts have pointed out Gabby's visible distress and her attempts to take responsibility, a common sign in abusive dynamics. Meanwhile, Brian's calm demeanor and subtle controlling gestures went largely unnoticed at the time. Then there were the inconsistencies in his statements to officers, which didn't quite add up. Her social media also held clues. In the final weeks, the captions and posts didn't quite sound like Gabby's usual vibrant, detailed style. They were shorter, more generic. And perhaps the most deafening clue of all was the eerie silence from Brian's family. As a nationwide search for Gabby intensified, they refused to speak, offering no information on her whereabouts or when they last heard from her. The aftermath was a media storm. The search for Gabby became one of the most followed missing persons cases in recent history, fueled by social media detectives and true crime communities. Just as the focus shifted to Brian as a person of interest, he disappeared himself, sparking another massive manhunt. His remains were eventually found in a Florida nature reserve. Beside him was a notebook. In it, he confessed to ending Gabby's life, claiming it was a merciful act after she sustained an injury. The confession provided a legal conclusion, but it left the world with so many unanswered questions. The case resonates today because it highlighted the stark contrast between a curated online image and a dark reality. It also brought crucial attention to the issue of domestic violence and the challenges law enforcement faces. Gabby's story changed the way the world looks at missing persons cases and the power of social media in seeking justice. But the question remains, how many warning signs do we overlook every day in the lives of those around us? Thank you for watching.